You had two good chances right near the end there to win this match. Olivier, both times foiled by the goalkeeper. What's your overall assessment of your team's performance tonight?
Well, I thought we dominated big parts of the game. Everything we talked about before the game in terms of nullifying their counter-attacking threat, we did really well. So that part of the game I thought was fantastic. Didn't really get a chance until we almost gifted them one at the end. And I thought we created enough. It's difficult to create against Tottenham when they defend in the low, medium block. A lot of defenders centrally, the whole team central. You have to try and go around them. You have to try and make crosses or take on shots. And it's not easy, whilst making sure you don't allow counter-attacking transition. So I thought that part of our game was great. I thought we did enough to win the game without getting that last little bit that would win it for us. Sometimes you rely on a bit of magic, something to drop for you when you have that much dominance, and that didn't quite come. So sort of balanced about the feeling after the game in that big parts were great, hence the clean sheet. But it was a game that we could have and probably should have won.
James Robson.
Hi, Frank. What was the biggest thing for you today and for your team to psychologically not get drawn into the occasion and what the significance of beating Jose, going to the top of the table, so you didn't fall into his trap, let's say, like City did last week?
No, I think it's clear that Tottenham, against when they play this kind of game, they did against City last week, they tend to adapt to take the style of being organised and wanting to counter-attack. The manager sets that tone. They have great players in forward areas to play in that way. And some we all know about, and types of goals that they're scoring recently. So it's a big factor of the game. But we were at home, so we wanted to control the game. We did. As I said before, could we have had a little bit more magic or something happen for us or drop for us at the top end of the pitch? There was only really one team for the majority of the game that was searching for that moments, and that was us. I didn't think of it that way before the game in terms of Jose or whatever. It was just a game in front of us. We're playing pretty well that we wanted to win. And in the end, we didn't quite have enough at the top end of the pitch to do that. But it was certainly a game that we were the controlling team.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Matt.
We've just heard Jose describe Tottenham as a pony who are not even in the title race. And he said that Chelsea are one of the biggest contenders. I wondered if you agreed with that assessment.
It's Jose's call to say it how he sees it from his end, but from the outside, they're top of the league. He's very close at the top. If we're contenders, then they have to be contenders. I think if you've got Harry Kane and Son in your team, saying Son's got 9 goals, Harry's got 7. They keep clean sheets well because of the organisation of their team. They would expect to be in the race. They've invested heavily. They've got people like Gareth Bale sitting on the bench. Dele Alli's not here. There's a strong squad there. So I think we're all competing. But Jose can say it as he sees it.
Hi, Frank. You okay?
Hi, Jerry. Good, thank you.
Yeah. Jose also said Chelsea would be pleased to be only 2 points. Sorry. Jose also said Chelsea would be pleased to only be 2 points behind Spurs and Liverpool at this stage. Is that how you feel?
I'm not sure what angle he's coming from saying that. In what way?
I think the point he made is that you're still in touch. I mean, you only got a point out of this game, but it doesn't mean you're out of the race. You're still obviously in.
No. Yeah, I see that. I don't think the result either way today would have changed the idea that there's a long way to go. There's so many games to go. I don't think it would have changed anything. I think I suppose it's irrelevant what the feeling is after the game from Jose's point of view. For us, we just have to focus on ourselves. We know it's tight at the top. There are not just ourselves, Tottenham and Liverpool in the race. There are a lot of teams around us in this season, which is looking slightly different to recent seasons. So I don't really know what to say about that, to be honest.
Okay, last two, Nick Purell and Andy Dillon to finish.
Hi Frank, thanks for your time. Obviously, I guess you're slightly frustrated not to win that today, but how do you assess where you are overall? Are you pleased with the start? And in terms of how do you think fans coming back will alter things when you look at maybe it might be more difficult for the players to communicate on the pitch? Obviously, guys who haven't played together before, they've built a relationship in an empty stadium, haven't they? Will it be another adjustment when the fans are back?
I'm not frustrated too much with it. Maybe my face or my tone is saying I'm frustrated. We wanted to win the game, and I think there's a frustration of sorts, is because we deserve to win the game in terms of chances and territory, but you only get what you deserve if you score the goals, which we didn't do. So that's the minor frustration today. I thought we played a really good game. There was one team pushing strongly to win the game, and the other team were sort of trying to stay in the game and get a draw probably at the end, for sure. In terms of where we're at, I'm pretty happy. I think bringing signings into the club, I keep saying the same thing, but it doesn't mean that everything works instantly. We have to gel, we have to work, we have to build relationships with the players, and we are doing that. So we're not in a bad place at all. Will the fans coming back change it? I'm not sure they will. We want them back anyway for what it brings to the game as a whole. I don't think 2,000 next week against Leeds is going to change too much the communication between players on the pitch, and every day and every performance that passes, I think the relationships are building. So I'm pleased where we're at. We always want more, but that hopefully is to come.
Last question, Andy Dillon.
Hi, Frank. Can you hear me?
Andy, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Just a quick one from me. I just wondered if Tottenham was what you expected from them today. You're talking there about a team that wanted to stay in the game. Whether you expect and just how tough they are, and they're kind of how defensive they are, really.
Yeah, it was how I was expected, because I mean we obviously watched the Manchester City game last week, but games with you know the style of the manager, the type of opposition and how they tend to play, the attributes of the players that they have. They have great players for counter attack, in Son particularly, and Harry Kane, the way he's playing at the minute, he can pretty much do everything himself. So yeah, they're very well organised to defend. That is a style of the way they want to play. That's the manager's prerogative, of course. So I expected that we would have a lot of possession and dominate territorially as well, which we did. I just wanted us to be able to really put them under pressure by going wide and making crosses into the box, and to keep them sustained pressure. And I think at periods of the game we did do that. And at those points are the points where you have to be clinical. And probably today the one thing is that we want that clinical in that situation. So the game did kind of go how I expected. I'm pleased with the fact that we didn't really give them a sniff on the counter attack. Disappointed, of course, that we didn't take one of our chances.
Okay, that's it. Thanks, everyone.
Thank
See
you.
Tuesday.